of what the ancestors ate. You won't see any white sugar. You won't see any bleached white flour. You won't see a glass of milk. You won't see any salt, because your ancestors said, well, if you can't read this stuff, I'm going to paint it on the wall what we ate. So we know we're not eating our diet. When you're off your culture, you're off your diet. When you're off your diet, you're off your culture. You can't have one without the other.
Weight loss, overweight, and obesity. There's a lot of confusion in this topic because people tend to eat a lot of food because they believe they're eating to keep up their strength, or they believe that they don't eat, they'll starve, so people just tend to just eat too much. The food is addicting because of the additives and chemicals they put in it, and then we have on top of that eating disorders, which means we have an addiction to food that is manufactured by the food industry. Even people that eat natural food tend to overeat. Anytime you have a lot of underactivities sitting around at computers and you're eating as if you have an active life, then you will tend to be overweight. A lot of people just eat because they're emotional eaters. What you have to keep in your mind is to eat to build health. Don't eat to be on a diet. Don't eat to lose weight. Eat to build health. Junk food, processed food, denatured food cause your appetite to malfunction. That's your appetite control mechanism. So you don't want to eat the processed food. Most of them contain white sugar or glucose or corn syrup, which is white sugar, or brown sugar, which is dyed white sugar, or turbinado raw sugar, which is white sugar with caramel color. You don't want to eat those because that throws your appetite off. Eating disorder is the main cause of the overweight. Overweight. The objective is to only eat when you're hungry, not because the food tastes good, but because it looks good, but to only eat when you're hungry. And don't eat till your stomach's full. Before you get full, you must stop. You can't solve your weight problems separately from the other problems in your life. It's all part of one issue, your lifestyle, your relationship to food. So trying to control your weight singularly will not solve the problem.
From Harlem to Los Angeles, from Detroit to New Orleans, as we travel the streets of America, we see nothing but obesity, and particularly in the African American community. This program is for all people of all races. However, we're putting special emphasis on the African American community because of the race we're dying 3 times faster than all other races. And we have far more obesity than all other races. This program is a wake-up call because as a race we are dying. It's time for us to wake up. We must learn to eat the way we ate before we came to America to get back to a natural African diet.
Well, they eat in large amounts of food, of course. And they eat large amounts of food because the vitamins and minerals and fiber and moisture in the food has been taken out of the food. So they're not getting enough energy from the food, so they have to eat more food, twice as much or 3 times as much to get the energy they would normally get out of eating the whole food. And aside from that, the food makes you hungry. It's designed to starve your system. Your body gets robbed of vitamins and minerals trying to make the partial food a whole food. So it's weakening the system in the process. And that's probably one of the primary reasons why people are overweight, as people say obese. And there's a difference between that, of course. Obesity is mostly excess fat, as they would say. And overweight can be excess muscle, over your normal value. So bodybuilders are overweight because there's a limit that the body has for how much muscle mass you should have. That's why your kidneys are a certain size, your pancreas are a certain size. It's that size to handle your weight. But when you add the more weight to your body and don't increase the size of your liver and pancreas to an equivalent, then you are weakening your system and damaging your system, so you're doing the same thing. That's why Arnold Schwarzenegger had, 2 heart bypasses already, open heart surgery.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you saying then that lifting weights is not good for the body?
It's a kind of ridiculous little thing to do. You want to tone your body, but I don't know why someone wants to lift some weights. That goes into some kind of philosophy there. That's why certain muscles you want built bigger, like the latissimus dorsus. It's a muscle on the side. We call it the latissimus. They shorten and call it the lats. So when you open your arm, it looks like you have a wingspan or like a bat or something. And that goes into Greek mythology. That's why they're making that muscle larger. It has nothing to do with bodybuilding. It has more to do with the religious and mythological beliefs of the Greeks, why they make certain muscles large and certain muscles small. So you have to understand the culture, the people who generated this whole idea, that's a good body and this is a bad body, and look at the ancient statues of the Chinese warriors and the African warriors. You just see they weren't built like that at all. But go into Greek history, you see another body built, because the body built and structure is defined by the culture that the people are from.
Wow, that's heavy. What about dieting? Do you think that going on a certain diet helps?
Well, diet is what you eat, so that doesn't say too much. So that's a word that they kind of use and abuse. So they say since you're eating it, it's part of your diet. That's why they can put diet on Coca-Cola. But drinking diet Coca-Cola does not cause you to lose weight. It's just part of your diet. So therefore they can put the word diet on Coca-Cola. Mm-hmm. So that word is kind of like misused and abused. So what the problem is with these people, with everybody, is this thing that we call eating disorder. That's when you eat food for no reason. You eat food to medicate your feelings. You eat food when you're irritated, when you're upset. You don't have any sense of your body. You don't know when you're full. You have to do like this and say, oh, I feel full. You can't sense it. Say, oh, I feel full. That's what people do. They have no sense of their body's diameter. They don't know what the body is about anymore, because the industry has pulled people away from the direct contact of their body. And to be directly in contact with your body, you have to be in contact with the moon, the sun, and a whole lot of other things, because we're part of the whole universe. But nonetheless, it's an eating disorder that's causing a lot of this overweight problems, which we call overwaste, not overweight. People are overwaste. They have too much waste in their system. They overwaste. So this overwaste problem is causing people to want to diet, but they're dieting off of the same food that caused the problem. So they never get rid of the problem. It's just like telling an alcoholic, okay, you stop drinking bourbon, we're switching you to wine. Hey, the problem is the alcohol. So they call themselves on a diet, eating bleached white flour, white rice, white sugar. That's what caused the problem in the first place. At a certain point, something should go off alarm in the person's head. Say, wait a minute, that's what's been causing me the problem. Why should I eat that to solve the problem? But when you've been manipulated by your taste buds all your life and not by your intelligence, then you can sell these diets, which mostly alkaline the system for about 2 or 3 days. Then after that, you're going to have a rebounding effect and be back where you started at. Because the key to the diet, drinks and all that, is to alkaline you. We call that pH. Because your body becomes acid. And when you're acid, that triggers whatever your addiction is. If you're addicted to food, or you're addicted to violence, or you're addicted to sex, whenever you get acid, you'll crave whatever you're addicted to. So with the diet, drinks and sodas and all that kind of stuff, they alkaline the system to calm down the addiction. But after about 2 or 3 days, you're going to have a rebounding effect and be back at it again. So none of the diets are successful. That's the biggest market going on, the diet market and the laxative market. So something's going on there.
Right. But just to add to that, what do you think about the Atkins diet, since that is addressing like carbohydrates, the white rice and that kind of thing? What's your take on the Atkins diet?
Isn't Atkins dead?
Yes, he is now.
Okay, very much dead. Okay, sort of like my doctor is also dead. See, that diet works primarily well with men. It doesn't work too well with women, usually. I think it's a diet based on just eating a lot of meat, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And that diet is culturally based. So we have to look at the culture that's dictating what a diet should be. in the body. So they exercise to lose the weight that the bleached white flour and white sugar is causing. Then they go on a diet that includes bleached white flour and white sugar. I'm beginning to lose the whole point of the situation here. The exercising didn't cause the weight gain, so it cannot cause the weight loss. What caused the weight gain is the way the person eats.
So just so I'm clear, you're saying that exercise is not important?
It's important. Your body is made to move. Your arms have levers and they're meant to move. It's important, but not as important as the diet. If you're eating junk food and you're exercising, you're just speeding up the destruction of your body. So we're talking about still that you have to have fuel to exercise with, and you're giving your body this impartial fuel, which some people equate to your car running on unleaded gas and you're putting leaded gas in, which is junk food, and expect the car to run efficiently. You expect your body to do these efficient things, but you put in the wrong fuel in the body to get this task done. So yes, you want to exercise, keep your body toned, walk every day if you walk or jog or swim, do something to stimulate your circulation, keep your body toned. Yeah. But exercising the internal requires whole foods. And bleached white flour and white rice and sugar does not exercise the inside of your body. People are just thinking about the outside. What about the inside? The only thing that exercises the inside is whole foods. That's whole wheat, brown rice, not honey or sugar. That doesn't exercise inside your body. You could. If you just want to measure health by weight loss, great. But that's not going to make you healthy. Not at all. You're going to pay a price for that one. A tremendous price. You can note all the athletes with arthritis. They're all on TV, from Shaq to they're eating junk food, and they exercise all the time. They're millionaires because they exercise, because they play in sports. But they still having these maladies, arthritis, rotator cuff problems, spraining their legs, the tissues falling apart. Every time you pick up a paper, there's some injury. So you can see that the quality of their life is deteriorating. But we just say it's the sports. No, it's the quality of their life, what they're eating, is causing this problem. If a person gains weight from sitting on their behind, then they bloody well sit on their behind and lose it. It's not that it's the problem there. The problem is their relationship to the food. They need to change that totally. Exercising is good. It's always been good. That's what children do. And we should continue exercising. We should also take a nap every day. No matter how old you are, we should take a nap every day. And we should exercise every day. But we should eat healthy every day, too. We just can't have one without the other. The problem with this processed food that we were talking about is they take all the water out of the food. When you bake bread, you're baking out the moisture. So you have to drink extra water when you eat baked food, be it cookies, potato chips, whatever you heated up the food to get rid of the moisture. Now you got to put the moisture back in. And people are not drinking extra water, but they're eating all of this dried food. And the body can't process it without water, so it takes the moisture from the organs, the liver, the kidney, the eyes, the bones, to rehydrate, to add moisture back to this food. The body is like this. If you eat a raisin, the body has to put the moisture back into the raisin before it can digest the raisin. What I'm saying is if you eat a raisin, the body's going to turn it back into a grape, then it's going to eat it. It's going to rehydrate it. So where's this moisture coming from that the body's putting back into this bleached white flour, white rice, and sugar? It's coming from the veins, the arteries, the bones, the eyes. You're not going to win with that one. Not at all. That's the price of processed food. It's a violation of nature. Nature said, I made this beet like this on purpose. And then people come along and say, no, I think you should have made the beet just out of sugar. Forget about the fiber, forget about the minerals, just make it out of sugar. No, nature says, I made this beet the way it is on purpose. Because the way I made this beet makes it alive. And if you eat live things, it sustains your life. Now you're going to kill the beet, pull out the sugar with heat and all that stuff, and expect something healthy to happen to you? It will not happen.
Now you mentioned water. I'm just curious, how much water should we intake every day?
Well, they use a rule of thumb kind of thing where you divide your weight by 2. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you divide it by 2 is 50. So that's 50 fluid ounces, which is equivalent to 5 glasses of water. So we divide the weight by 2, and that gives you how much water you should drink from stopping to dehydrate alone. Now, if you're eating baked food and cooked food and pull the moisture out, now you got to drink more water. You're sitting in front of a computer, which dries you out, you have to drink more water. So there's other factors you have to factor into this. But that's how much more water you would have to drink just to stop from dehydrating. Most people don't do that. Most people don't like water. Don't like the taste of it because they think tap water is water.